today's episode of Hero Syndrome, we got more allies talking GOTYs. Let's go. We got Ian Hink here to discuss his favorite game of the year so far. Ian Hink.
Hey.
In the year that never ends. I like to say that every time I talk to someone.
Yeah.
The year that never ends. I like to say that at least we've had some games to kill some time, to occupy our minds. What is your favorite game so far of this year?
I mean, I would be remiss to just not give it to Animal Crossing, pretty much. Because It's just like, it's so jolly. I've got like probably 400 something hours or plus in it.
Crap.
And it just feels really good to meet up with your friends in it and just kind of like tool around your island and stuff. It's the game we need for this time, you know?
It really does feel like that. It came out, honestly, at a perfect time.
Yeah.
Ian, I remember you loved New Leaf, the mobile one, right? New Leaf?
No, the mobile one was Pocket Camp. I never played New Leaf.
Okay, Pocket Camp.
Really?
You like maxed everything out and hard quit.
I set a goal for myself. I wanted to get the treehouse and one other thing, and then I got them both and never played it again.
Did you have a goal for this time around? What was your goal?
Well, that was the nice thing with this one is the goals that you can set are much more robust because you can, at first you want to max out your house, and then you want to get terraforming, and then you want to, you get terraforming from having KK come, but then you want to get like 5 stars, so I got 5 stars, and then I tapered off. I was playing it like a lot every day until I got 5 stars. Now I'll go in for like an hour or something every other few days now. Now my big project is I'm trying to get a bunch of Lily of the Valleys to fill out this little memorial area that I have. Nice. I'm trying to get gold roses to put at the end of a maze that I have. And I'm trying to catch bugs and fish to just fill out the museum,
Nice.
Love that museum.
So Ian, I have not played Animal Crossing. I missed the boat. I feel like the boat sailed. But what kind of holds me back sometimes for playing this is like I have very simple tastes. It's just like I'll build a cozy little 4 walls and a roof, and I got my bed, and it's almost like I beat the game or like have what I need so early on.
Yeah.
Do you push yourself to like be creative, or do you kind of have your aesthetic already planned out ahead of time?
I'm kind of like you. I wanted to get more rooms for my house so that because I had ideas for rooms, but I haven't changed my house in months. I didn't change the physical layout of my island really at all because I like living in harmony with nature and not bending it to my whim. Not to say there's anything wrong with doing that in Animal Crossing, because I've seen some of these people's islands that are just like insane, and they're gorgeous. But yeah, I kind of view it as like going on a vacation when I'm playing it. So I left the rivers alone and stuff, but I was modeling it after a place called Na'ina Kai in Hawaii. And by modeling it after, I mean just like, I wasn't like looking up pictures and comparing it. I've been there twice, so I was kind of just like, oh yeah, they've got tree plantations and stone walls and a maze over here. And like, so I just kind of did those things,
Jolly vibes.
But I'm kind of like you. I just kind of like, it's cozy, and now I'm just catching fish sometimes.
Nice. Any other games, Ian, or anything else you want to say about Animal Crossing?
Well, dude, I'm only... Well, I don't know how long we've streamed it for so far, like 6 or 7 hours into Deadly Premonition 2. That
Shout out.
Is a hoot. It's a hoot.
Is it everything you wanted, Ian?
So far, yeah. It's everything good about the first one, everything bad about the first one, just a little quicker, and it's perfect. And the frame rate is garbage, and it's amazing.
Yeah, because I haven't played the first one, unfortunately. I've played it, but I haven't like played enough of it.
Yeah.
But everyone is just saying that the frame rate in this is so bad that it's not funny anymore. It's just like unbearable.
It's funny because to me, like, for games like Deadly Premonition, where my timing is rarely a factor, like my frame rate was pretty poor for Nier Automata when I was playing it on my base PS4. You know, that was impacting my enjoyment.
Totally.
This,
Good
like,
call.
the frame rate being garbage when I'm on my skateboard, to me, just makes it funnier. Like, the fact that I can't skip rocks very well because the frame rate is trash is just funny to me. So, like, frame rate doesn't bother me too much in games like this where it's not, like, second-to-second gameplay, you know? Like, if I was having this frame rate in a Souls game or something, I would be, you know, pretty pissed.
Timing.
But, yeah. But, yeah,
That's awesome.
to me in this, the stakes are so low
And
that I'm just, like, having a blast with it.
And I know you just obviously played through the first one with the Dawn.
Yeah.
Check out those streams if you haven't, viewers at home. Ian and Dawn playing through Deadly Premonition 1. Has that impacted your perception or your playthrough of 2? Are you glad you just played it fresh on your mind?
Yeah, I'm really happy that we just beat 1. A funny thing, I think I'm enjoying 2 better just because it has lots of little quality of life improvements, which sounds hilarious in a game with such a poor quality of life that it's abysmal. But I find myself wanting to play 2 when I'm not on stream. I did with 1 as well. I wanted to play it, but 2, I'm just like, I'm chomping at the bit. I want to keep going. The story already has me super invested.
That's
the story
awesome.
picks up and gets its hooks in way faster than 1, I think.
That's so awesome.
But also, like, it's definitely a sequel. Like, if you've played the first one, you can really appreciate a lot of stuff in this one. So
Cool.
it's
Awesome,
so
man.
fun, dude. It's ridiculous. You got to play these games.
I know. It's super
1 is
high on
tough.
my list.
It's tough to get through 1. It's like playing it on a stream with Don is ideal because
I can
his
imagine.
just like joyous nature just like uplifts it. And now playing 2 with Don and Ben is just it's a real a hoot. It's just a hoot.
That's awesome. Thanks so much, Ian.
Thanks.
I am here with none other than Ben Moore. How you doing, Ben?
I'm doing great. I do really well when you get super close to the camera. I like that. Yeah. absolutely.
The Don Quixote behind you gets me pumped.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever switch it at this point. It's too good.
It's perfect. All right, Ben. In the year that never ends, 2020, at least we've got some video games to keep us busy. We're halfway to GOTYs. Still a couple more months, a couple big hitters on the horizon. But
Yeah.
so far, what has been your favorite game?
Do I have to narrow it down to 1? Because I've narrowed it down to 2.
No rules on Syndrome ever. Give me 2.
Okay. I've got 2 and classic. I've got 2 and a special mention.
Okay.
So, I really like Half-Life Alyx a lot, and I hope more allies get to play it. It was really magical for me. Like, I don't know of a better word to describe it, where as somebody who really loves Half-Life, and especially thinks Half-Life 2 is phenomenal, returning to that world and seeing it in a completely different way, and how polished and detailed that game was, and how transformative VR made combat, Half-Life combat, one of my favorite gaming experiences of probably the entire generation.
Holy crap.
I wish it was more accessible to people. It definitely breaks my heart when people are like, "Oh, I love Half-Life, but I just can't do this," and that's a huge bummer. So I was using the index, and the index sort of has this touch-sensitive pad at on the handle.
Yeah.
And so it registers when you're closing your hand, right? And it will recognize individual digits. So you actually grab onto something.
Yeah.
Not using a mouse and keyboard. So you're using your head to look around, and you're using your hands to interact with objects.
Sick.
And the gravity gloves, which are fantastic.
Gravity
allow you
gloves, that's right.
Yeah. So you can, and it plays into kind of looting and puzzle solving as well, where you'll look up in the ceiling and you'll see ammunition in a box, and you can just point your hands up and flick it, and then you actually catch it midair, and it feels phenomenal.
Was the was it immediately apparent, Ben, when you hopped in to Half-Life Alyx, like from the immediate moment where you like, holy shit? Or did it take time to build? Was it a slow build? Was there a specific moment that it became magical?
I think it started out great, but the way that it starts out, it definitely kind of leans into its VR format, where it's like, okay, we're gonna have a huge thing towering above you, and we're gonna let you interact with a bunch of stuff, and we're gonna do some scripted events, like, and that all that stuff is impressive. But I think the more that I played it, I think I appreciated that it didn't rely on those things, where it's like, no, this is just actually an excellent first-person adventure that has impeccable level design, impeccable combat. Like, it's not getting a pass because it's a VR game. It has the nuts and bolts of a great game there as well. It's not relying just on gimmicks.
Yeah.
For sure.
What was it like being back in the Half-Life universe after, episode 2 was so long ago? Was that a surreal experience for you?
It was definitely a concern, but it was really like I never left. They just slide into that atmosphere and tone so well, and things that I thought would maybe bother me a little bit more because it's a different actor for Alyx, and you have a lot of interaction with a brand new character, and it's done so well where you're like, has this guy always been here? And the conversations, I think it is really hard to do conversations that are as natural and casual and funny without being forced in the way that Half-Life Alyx does them. They really don't get in the way. They just kind of prop up the great world building.
Awesome. So, oh my god, I can't wait to play this, Ben.
Yeah.
Once we get back in the studio, first thing I'm doing, hooking up the rig to the PC.
Hubert, I can't wait, because I really think you're gonna have a similar response to it that I did, and you're just gonna, grab me and shake me and go, Alyx! And we're gonna have a great moment together.
Is there anything cool you can do with the gravity gloves and a shotgun? Can you steal someone's shotgun with the gloves and be like, whoop?
I don't know if I don't think I stole anybody's weapon.
Cool.
But
good shotgun?
This one's the shotgun's very, very good. What's great about the shotgun, right, and is trying to reload it in the midst of battle is a skill in and of itself. Because you gotta pop it open, put the shells in, hit, slide the thing at the top, and it's really frantic when a head crab is jumping past your head. You're just like, I'm just trying to put the shells in, man. And then as you do it more often, you get better at it. And reloading feels like an actual skill, not just like a button that you push, in so many other games. Really transformative, for sure.
Crap, we've been doing these GOTYs, Ben, and I'm comparing the best weapons of the year because it's one of my favorite categories. And obviously the Doom Super Shotgun and the Buster Sword.
Yeah.
But this sounds really unique because of the situation of having to reload it manually. That's awesome.
Yeah. Hubert is a connoisseur of weapons. I think you're going to have a good time.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. All right, Ben, what's the next game?
Last of Us 2.
Nice.
I was fortunate enough to play through it with my wife, and I haven't been so excited to wake up and continue a story as I was with Last of Us 2. It's the most emotionally engaged with a story that I've been in a long time. And I definitely have some problems with Last of Us 2. It's something that I could sit there and really pick apart, but it hit me in the gut. And I wish more games could bring me to that level. And I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding it. It's kind of been exhausting talking about The Last of Us 2.
I feel like we're coming out of the other end right now, which is nice. The hate and the noise has kind of bubbled below the surface, and now we're just praising the game, which is awesome.
Yeah. I won't get into it because of spoilers, but there are some moments with old characters, Ellie and Joel, that I think were really well handled. I really ended up caring about Abby a lot. And considering the arc of that character, I like how it challenges you, and really tries to make sense of a world that is nonsensical. Like, you know, in all of these people's minds, they're doing the right thing, and they can't really see that they're just kind of continuing this cycle of violence. And I think it's handled really well. And there's something about Last of Us combat that is also really sticking with me, where, you know, I think the AI can be exploitable, and some things are kind of maybe a little bit too powerful, and you've had a complaint about too many resources. But there's something about how kind of combat goes down that really reinforces the world in a strong way. There's just kind of this scrappiness to it, this brutality, where, you know, even after seeing it 100 times, I kind of go like, oh shit, like that was rough. Like I didn't think there, I just sort of acted. And I think the game really tries to facilitate that feeling.
I love having to improvise on the fly, especially with like a brick or a bottle. If you're like reloading and then someone's like charging at you and all you have is just a brick, you're like, ah!
Yeah.
So awesome. And I've seen people on Twitter just posting GIFs of things that I beat the game twice, and I've seen things I didn't even know were possible.
Yeah.
Just like, one recently I saw was someone shot a guy in the leg and then used him as cover.
Yeah, it's really funny because there are different people that leaned on certain things, and I love game stories like that where you sit down with somebody and you kind of compare notes on how you played through it, and you learn so much, and you like a whole wide array of options is open to you. Like Last of Us 1, and having just replayed it before going into Last of Us 2, I don't think anything in that game is worthless. Like, you can find practical applications for everything, and you can really exhaust your entire arsenal, and that's always a huge point of praise in a game for me.
Abby with a hammer just feels right, Ben.
Yeah, for sure.
It just feels right. All right, man, thanks for talking. And that's it for the episode. Next week, we'll be back again with more allies talking GOTYs. Thanks so much. See you next week.